No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. But have you ever felt stuck, waiting for someone else to make a decision for you? Maybe you hesitate to take a big leap, waiting for validation, guidance, or someone to tell you it's the right move. But here's a truth that many of us overlook. No one else can live your life for you. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking constant approval, fearing failure, and waiting for the right moment or the right advice. But as Buddhist philosophy teaches us, the path to happiness, growth, and fulfillment starts when you take responsibility for your own journey. In this video, we'll explore the transformative story of Rohan, a young man who relied on others for every decision, until a simple lesson from his father changed his life forever. Through Buddhist wisdom and powerful real-life examples, we'll uncover how self-reliance can lead to true success and inner peace. Why waiting for others holds you back. How Buddhist teachings emphasize self-reliance and personal responsibility. Practical steps to stop hesitating and start leading your own life. The power to change your life has always been within you. Stay until the end for an actionable guide on how to stop waiting for permission and finally take charge of your own destiny. Rohan's struggle, the trap of dependency. Rohan was a kind-hearted young man with big dreams. But there was one major flaw that always held him back. He depended on others for every decision. When it came to his studies, he would wait for friends to tell him what subjects to focus on. When thinking about his career, he constantly sought advice but never trusted his own instincts. Even in his personal life, he relied on family and friends to validate his choices. To Rohan, this seemed normal. After all, wasn't it wise to seek advice from those with experience? But his father, a wise man, noticed something troubling. Rohan wasn't living his own life. He was living through the expectations and decisions of others. The father's lesson, standing tall and taking the leap. One evening, as they sat outside their house, Rohan's father said, "Come with me tomorrow morning. I want to show you something important." Curious, Rohan agreed. The next morning, they ventured deep into a dense forest. After some time, his father stopped by a tall young tree and asked, "Tell me, Rohan, how does this tree stand so tall and strong?" Rohan thought for a moment and replied, "Because it gets water from the soil and sunlight from the sky." His father smiled, then asked, "But what if this tree leaned on another tree for support? What would happen if that other tree fell?" Rohan hesitated, then answered, "It would fall too." His father nodded. "Exactly. A tree that depends on another for strength will never grow strong on its own. The same goes for you. If you keep leaning on others for every decision, you'll never stand tall when it matters most." But the lesson wasn't over. They continued walking until they reached an old well. His father dropped a stone into the well, and they both listened as it hit the water. "Did you hear that?" his father asked. Rohan nodded, yes. His father continued, "Now imagine if that stone refused to fall, waiting for another stone to go first. Would it ever reach the water?" Rohan shook his head. "That's exactly what you're doing, son. You're waiting for others to make the first move to decide your path. But if you never take the plunge, you'll never reach your goal." The Buddhist path to self-reliance. Rohan's father's words echoed deeply within him. He realized he had spent so much of his life waiting for others to approve, waiting for someone to take the lead, waiting for certainty. But in Buddhist philosophy, the path to enlightenment emphasizes self-reliance and personal responsibility.